All right, boys, a little different type of style of video today. Today, I'm going to be talking about stocks that I will be investing in after quarter one, after earnings, and stocks that I think have upside in the next 5 to 10 years. So these are long term investments. These are not investments that I'm saying to buy and to hold for 3 months and sell off. That's not the type of stock person that I am. Although I do want to get into holding smaller positions and sort of hedging my money, I do. Well, these are the stocks that are my personal preference that I think are going to grow in the next 5 to 10 years. Again, when I invest into a stock, I put 10 to 15% of my portfolio in the stock. These are all going to be high capital stocks. You're all going to know these stocks, but these are stocks that I'm in for at least the next few years. With that being said, let's go over them. And I'm also going to tell you a little bit about my portfolio and how I've been structuring them. First, I want to start off with crypto. I've actually recently exited my positions in Solana, XRP, and Ethereum. Y'all can tell me if that's a bad decision. I've been holding for the last 2 to 3 years. I'm up a little bit on the positions and I'm a little bit down on some positions. And they were taking up about, I think, wait, let me do the math real quick. I want to say they were taking up about 1/5, maybe. No, no, that's not even true. Taking about 28% of my portfolio. And the reason I moved on from these crypto is because I don't really see a foreseeable future when Trump is in presidency with crypto. I see Bitcoin going up, but I see overall people have been moving from crypto to commodities such as silver, such as gold, as crypto is becoming too risky and too volatile. I do think holding interest trading crypto for a few weeks is nothing serious, but I don't see XRP, Solana, and Ethereum going anywhere in the far run. Again, y'all can clip this, and in the future, if they make you make a lot of money and I'm an idiot, then I guess I'm an idiot. I'm not a financial advisor. But these are just the investments that I see for the foreseeable future based off of my research. Again, I'm not like doing amazing in stocks. I'm maybe making 15% a year, 15 to 16% a year off of stocks. Some years more, some years less. Again, I've only been investing for the last 3 years, and these are all long term investments to set me up for my future. I'm only 18 years old right now. By the time that I get to the age of 30 to 40, I want to have a high seven figure portfolio. And although I do not talk about stocks that often, my page is mainly about day trading. I do like to come in here whenever I don't have anything to talk about for day trading. And I do like to come in here and talk about really investments and anything that has to do with finance, as it is my passion. All right, without further ado, let's get into them. I think it's around here. Yeah. Okay, so first we got Google. The thing with Google, one, Google has been expanding tremendously when it comes to AI, right? We have Gemini, their servers are nice, and it's really the main database that everyone uses. Google Chrome. It's the main, not database, World Wide Web, whatever you want to call it. A server. Nah, what is this called? Web server. It's like the number one web server in the world. So I do see Google going up. Now we can look at the chart, and the reason that I'm really waiting for earnings because in the next few years, right, we could do some research here, but as you can see on the 1 year time frame, we're basically at all time highs, which is why it's not my number one stock pick, it's my number two stock pick. But if you see, right, from our high at 336, we're at 328. So, but and even on the all time chart, you can see we're basically buying it at the high. But the reason that I am doing so is because I want to get into Google now. I can see Google going over $500 in the next year and a half, and even if I wait for a 10% dip right now, like how do I explain this? All right, so first started off Google earnings date. Google's earnings date comes out on February 4th, right? Now, in that earnings, while Google is estimated to beat earnings with all the new innovations that they have coming up, I do think that uh we're just gonna see more gaining from there. Like I don't see any case where Google really dips 10 to 20%. As you can see in its historical chart, if we go on the 1 year chart, we're not really seeing any 10% dips, right? If you see on in September, it's at about 255. Then we get a dip, like a $20 dip, and we're just pushing higher and higher. So we're not really seeing like a 10 to, we're seeing a $10 to $15 dip along an uptrend. I don't really see Google dipping below 300. I don't see any of that. So for now, like, although I may have missed entries in the past, right? If we look around the middle of December, we did get a dip between from 324, so we got a $20 dip. Again, even if we do dip, I'm not going to be that worried. I'd rather get in my positions now before February 4th because I do think Google is expanding enough to beat earnings and go up. As you could see on the news, Waymo's not shining Tesla's robotaxi leads 5 stocks near the buy points, and we could just see analyst rating Google end of 2026. Now, analysts are rating with 14 to 23%, range between 225 and 380. 225 for Google is fucking insane. It's not dipping 33%. That's never happened. In my thing, I do believe it's a strong buy. Analysts grading Google end of 2026 low. On the lower side, from 190 to 200, I do see. What the fuck? Okay, that's not true. 190 to 200 is fucking mental. Like, that's not happening. I do believe that it would go to like maybe 280, 270, but even then, that's a little bit of, it's a little bit of hyper speculation. And we could see from when earnings came out last time, it came out December 8th, we did get a little bit of a drawdown from its earnings, but now we're rebounding. And I do think Google will be earnings. All right, that's enough talking about Google. I think it's a good investment. Meta is my number one investment. Now, I actually dollar cost averaged at about 660 around 3 months ago near Halloween time. And as you could see, I'm sort of just at my entry right now. But the reason that and this is more of a technical reason, Meta's earnings is coming out on Wednesday. I can easily see Meta beating earnings and shooting back, covering this whole gap that it's been in. In the next, so we could look at analyst ratings Meta end of 2026, not low, just straight up. 818 to 834. That on the high target, it's about 1,000. I do not think 685 is viable. Actually, it could be. I could see 685 at the end of it. But either way, you're gaining. I do think that we're slowing down on a little bit of volume. But once Meta comes out with new things, we are going to see that going. And just think about anyone that you know. Anyone, any age that you know has Instagram, has Facebook, uses social media. Meta is one of the best investments, and I've read online that it's actually the number one most underrated Mag 7 stock out right now. Mag 7 stocks are Alphabet, Apple, Tesla, Google, Nvidia, Microsoft, and I'm missing one. Yeah, Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Alphabet, Meta, Nvidia, and Tesla, right? So this is number one most undervalued. While everything else is gaining, this is still staying stagnant. I do think Meta is gonna beat earnings and literally just go insane, right? And see Alphabet versus Meta platforms, which AI stock will make you richer. I think both of them are high conviction, and I will be buying them. Thread ads around the world. Should you buy sell? Like, everyone thinks that Meta is doing good. I do think I want to get in before earnings. I don't want to wait for earnings because I feel that they're gonna beat it again. If you're like really into stocks and you're watching this, and I sound like I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm not like really into, like, how do I explain it? I'm not smart when it comes to stocks, like super smart. I can't read all the technicals and stuff, but this is just based off of personal conviction. So again, I'm not a financial advisor. Don't take my word, but I do see Meta going up to $1,000 before the end of 2027. From there, that's why I'm buying in. Bitcoin. Now, in the last 6 months, we're down 25% from all-time highs. This right here is literally a perfect buy. In my eyes, Bitcoin is a beautiful buy down here. You could DCA down here. Again, there was probably better times to buy if you look in the yearly time frame, right? If we look at about April, we were looking at $75,000. Now $90,000. We're still down 15% in the last year. And I do think from the all-time high being down 25%, that's a beautiful investment. It's the only crypto that I could say that is going to soar in the future. right? Now silver. The problem with commodities is I feel like everyone's been trying to buy these commodities in the last month, in the last 6 months, and I'm not really seeing anywhere to buy. $100 is a nice psychological price point to see a dip, maybe even a 20% dip. That would be like a good. At $80, it would be an amazing. But there's not really any news on it. It's just it's much more safer when these tariffs are coming out, when everything's going out. Silver and gold still hold their value in the world. That's why this goes along with gold. Silver and gold are the same things, at least in my head. So I do see conviction buying silver if we see a dip. Chipotle. Now this is a beautiful buy by me. I bought this at about $28 maybe. $30. Yeah, 30. Yeah, around like the 29 mark. I bought this when we saw that huge dip. And the reason why I bought this from all-time highs at 60 or 65, we're halfway down from all-time high. Now, for me, everyone that I know eats Chipotle. If I go out to eat with my family for fast food, we get Chipotle. Everyone around me gets Chipotle. If I go and eat out with my friends, we go Chipotle. Anytime that I drive by Chipotle on the way home from a gym, I see people at Chipotle. Chipotle's full all the time, right? People go to Chipotle. I don't know why the price isn't adding up with that. That's why I see conviction this going at least to all-time highs. Now, my plan for Chipotle is to take out some of my position when we take out all-time highs and let a few runners run. But I want to get out of this soon just because I don't like holding fast food stocks. But it's really nice. Amazon, I do have some Amazon. I don't know where at. I think I'm up maybe like I don't know. I think I bought it around like I could check. I think it was like 222 when I bought it. Something like that. But I do like Amazon AWS. I like the AI factor of it, how it runs like the most servers, all that sort of stuff. I do like. And Amazon, I bought at about 226. That's where I bought it at on November 20th. So off of this big dip, I really bought it at this low right here. Pretty nice snag by me. Uh, I think I bought it like a little bit before it dipped. I don't know when, but I saw this big dip from the all-time highs. I liked it there, and I do think if we look at analyst ratings, Amazon for the end of 2026, 25% to 50% upside. 50% is a little crazy to me. I do like 25% a lot. 300, 320, and we're sitting at about 239. So $300 would be amazing to see. I do think that I'm going to start adding this position over the next few years. We're only up 45% in the last 5 years. If you look at something like Meta, we're up 139%. If we look at Google, we're up 245%. So Amazon's going a little bit slower. We're still getting nice price action on Amazon to buy in. I do see this going to 300, and I want to hold this for the next 5 to 10 years. It's really good to say. And that's like really all the stock picks that I have. We could talk about Nvidia really quickly. Again, Nvidia, everyone's favorite company. Still, we're not seeing volume in the last month. 6 months, we're up 9%. Even year to date, we're only up 0.63%. A year we're up 27%, and that's where the money is in the last 5 years. So I do want to see a little dip, but if we could look at Nvidia's analyst ratings, we're looking at 250 to over 350. So if we're looking at almost 200, I want to see like a little 10% dip. And I don't know when Nvidia's earnings dates are, but I'm pretty sure it's coming up soon. Okay, February 25th. I wouldn't touch Nvidia yet, but I don't know. Because I sold a bag on Nvidia. I bought it around $90 or $80, and I sold it at about 150. Not nice. I don't think that I should have done that, but that's really it. I appreciate y'all. Y'all boys have a great one. Oh, subscribe for more. Subscribe for trading content and finance content overall. Appreciate y'all. Have a blessed one.